Hi everybody, this is Tina from Rehatch Designs, and I kind of went on a little rant about, you deserve to have your crafting time and crafting therapy and why it's good for you and that type of thing, and don't let the cost inhibit you. So I'm going to show you a few ways to make a journal that's very affordable. Now, of course, I don't know, a lot of us paper crafters and crafters, we love to buy things. We love to get the newest, latest, and greatest, and I am very guilty of that. But I also know that I don't need to do that. I really don't. And I also think a lot of times when we don't do that, we tend to be more creative because we have to use what we have. And so we just, we think of new ways to do things. Anyway, I cleaned out my closet yesterday. Actually, I'm not completely done, but I found a few things maybe to give you guys ideas. And you don't have to necessarily just clean out your closet. You may not have anything in there that you think you might want to use. But another way to do this is you can go to thrift stores and you can buy some really nice things that would work great in a journal, as a cover or even inside as flips or, pockets or whatever, or laces, that type of thing, for a very, very nominal amount of money, $1 or $2, that type of thing. If you're smart and you go out there and you look around, if you're willing to do that. Now, to me, that is part of the love of junk journaling, is going out and finding things. I mean, it's great to have things delivered to your door. Don't get me wrong. Every once in a while, I'm like, okay, I'll just order that on Amazon and it'll come tomorrow, maybe this afternoon. But my love of junk journaling has to do, it has so many things. It's the finding new ways to use things, finding things you already have. The term junk journal really comes from, I think originally people used junk mail mainly to make their junk journals. Well, using junk mail, using, stationery supplies, using things that you have, and to me that includes, things you may already have in your closet that, that you no longer want or need. Anyway, I'm going to go through a few things, give you some ideas, and then our next video, we're going to use some of those things. So let me show you first what I found. And I actually kind of surprised myself. Now, the obvious one is, of course, denim. Denim is something that you can make wonderful farm journals, western journals, boho journals. You can use the pockets. I mean, you can use the belt loops. Great idea to keep your denim. And also make sure that you keep all different types of denim, not just, if you've got some with patterns, or because, the more texture you have and the more you mix it up, the better your journal, I think, is going to look. And then, don't forget denim type materials, prints and things like that would work. And honestly, one denim pair of jeans is going to get you a lot of denim, a lot of material. One blouse is going to get you a lot of material. It does not take that much to do a junk journal. Another thing to think about when you're looking through your stuff, and I did this, now I don't know if everybody has what I have. I was kind of a scarf person, and I have all kinds of scarves. I have everything you can possibly think of. I've got frilly, I've got, this one, this is a tie-dye one. I've got this that has all kinds of beads. You can do a lot with a scarf. I found one when I was looking in there, that I thought, oh my gosh, this is a good start of a boho journal. I mean, I can see that. That's gonna end up somewhere. Okay. But anyway, that's a great resource. And there is way more than enough material in a scarf, most scarves, to do that. So, you know, and hit up your friends too. Maybe they have, here, I'm going to move that over a little bit. Maybe they have stuff that they're getting rid of. The other thing is to remember is that hit up your husband's closet too. Things he may be getting rid of. And even if it's a little worn, you know, you can definitely, there's so much material in one shirt that you can get what you need out of it. And you got to realize you're probably going to be layering things over it. So, you know, if it has a stain on it or a rip or whatever, so what? You can still use it. The other thing to think of, and I didn't even really think about this until later. I guess I went through a phase where I was wearing kind of lacy things. And I had these blouses. And, okay, this lace costs quite a bit. It really does. It's not cheap. But if you go out there thrifting, because had I not done junk journals, I probably would have just stuck this in the Goodwill pile, or, you know, whatever. And, you know, they would have sold it for a couple bucks. Go out there looking, find something, things like this, because there is so much stuff on here that you can use. You know, the buttons, everything. Just the ribbon. Here's another one. I mean, in fact, we're going to use this. This is going to be a Valentine's journal. But I found this and I thought, well, gosh, you know, I'm not going to wear this anymore. But guess what? Great journal. This is a vest. And I think this is actually damaged somewhere. Has a big kind of, got hooked onto something and ripped. But you know what? I'm going to cut it up anyway. And I'm going to put it over some other fabric. And that's going to be great to use in a junk journal. The other thing that I didn't even think about till, again, I was going through the closet. How about jackets? Here's an old, like, 1980s jacket that's been sitting in the closet that nobody's going to wear. And this is real suede, and it would make a great, you know, cover for a journal. Great Western journal, traveler's notebook, anything like that. So that's a resource. In fact, I think I have, yeah, here we go. I have a leather one, and I looked at that and I thought, oh my gosh, that will be, I can just see that right now. Cut that out. That'll be a great journal. The one thing to remember too is that on your covers, you can get away with a lot of bulk. So, you know, don't throw out things because they're bulky. Like I found this sweater, which I thought, oh man, that would make a great winter journal. And it has all this texture to it. And don't worry about it fraying, because you can put fabric tack around the ends. And then if you sew it, I usually use a file folder, and I glue it to that. And then I sew around it and fabric tack around the edges. And there's no way, it's not gonna fray after that. So anyway, that's something to think about. And I don't know what I bought this. I don't even know if I ever wore it. But honestly, I'm excited about this one. I'm excited. Come next winter, this is definitely gonna make its way into a journal. Something to think about. The other thing I have, you know, like I said, it's all about texture. Here's something that you could use for it'd make a great wedding journal. Pieces of another journal, you know, and you don't have to use, like, cut off just parts of it. And then even the really, you know, see-through pieces like that, you know, you can always layer them. You know, it's just a great use of things that you already have that are going to cost you very little. Now, the downside of this is I cleaned out my closet, you know, to get rid of things, and now all it did is make its way into my craft room. So I am going to try and spend some time and cut these stuff up and, you know, consolidate it a little bit. But, you know, I'm not going to have to go out and buy some stuff that I probably would have had to go out and buy. And it also, I think, is a great way to inspire you to make things. Because now I've seen a few pieces in there, and it's just got my brain going, and I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to use that, and I'm going to make a ... And so that's something you may want to think about, is just going through your closet, and if you're not finding a lot there, or even, you know, if you do go thrifting, keep your eyes open for things that you could use in a journal, because I know that there's just a lot out there. Now, you can go out and go to the fabric store and buy your material and do whatever, but that's kind of not what this whole little series is about. It's kind of trying using what we have, and I have way too much. So, and I constantly am hearing people talk about destashing, even people that are newer to junk journaling. You know, I think what draws some people to junk journaling is like, oh my God, that's a way to use my stuff. You know, like I was a scrapbooker or a mini album maker, and I'm not really doing that anymore. I'm, you know, doing everything digital, but oh my gosh, I still have all this stuff. Well, you know, go through your craft room or your craft space or your craft stuff and look through some things and try and look at them differently. And I do think that's kind of what the world of junk journaling really is, and I think that's why it's catching on the way that it is. I mean, at least that was for me. And I think also part of it is too, is that there aren't any rules, and there's no wrong way to do it, and you don't have to do a lot of, you know, precise measuring and that kind of thing, because I think that got old for a lot of people. Anyway, that is kind of what I was going for today, is to give you an idea of things that you can find in your closet. And what we're going to do for our next part of the series is that we're going to actually take some of that, and I'm going to make a couple fabric covers for Valentine's Day, so you can see how to use that. And then after that, we'll go on to another part using things we already have. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and if you've got some value out of this, you know, just like and subscribe, and I hope y'all have a great day, and thank you for spending your time with me.